Hello there everyone, it's Mark 3 and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, second launch. Well, honestly, I keep on going further and further into this game, way beyond anything I've ever done previously with it, so I am enjoying this exploration thing that we've got going on. Now, speaking of exploration, we actually do have an immediate destination to get to, a vague goal, which we might hit this episode, and a general plan, which is eternal, but is also probably going to be something I'm going to do this episode as well. So, yeah. New stuff to me this episode. Anyway, let's see, we're done there. We are going, we've got an 11 light year trip ahead of us, because the loose goal that we might hit is getting antimatter going for universe matrix production, making our first universal matrices. But to get that we need critical photons, and with that goal I was searching through all my nearby systems and I finally managed to locate that 27 Lacertae, a tidally locked planet. Because of course the photon absorbers working off a Dyson sphere, they build up charge while they're able to continue to absorb, and then they lose that efficiency when they stop. So that's my initial plan. Go to 27 Lacertae and set up a remote outpost here which will be producing critical photons. It'll be importing gravity lenses, which I've not set up for export yet, but I'll be getting this thing set up just to do that. Almost there, almost there. Okay, we go that way. Okay. Come on. I'm kind of wondering if what this will look like, if it does have a unique appearance or not. Is that it? That's it. Okay, 27 Lacertae. Let's have a quick look, see in the map ski. 27 Lacertae is tidal locked for perpetual day-night. I'm not much interested in resources, honestly, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here purely for its potential as a place. Okay, so the sun side is all bright and all that jazz. And the night side is just flat out cold. Fair enough that. Right, so where am I? Oh, I should know, I've also got a ton of stuff, like I've got power stations, I've got mini fusion plants, I've got... why do I have extra accumulators? Apparently I have made too many of those. Orbital Collectors, I've got a whole boatload of ray receivers, some energy exchangers, I've got EM rail ejectors, you know, I've got loads of stuff around that I'm planning to hopefully use today. I just need to work out where I'm going to put things down on this world. Like, how far around do we go? Do I really care? Not as such, I suppose. But, yeah. We are roughly in the middle of the day-night. In fact, yeah, if we could just go a little bit further forward, this is almost bang in the middle, and we'll start from here. Let's get setting up. First off, we want a thing, then we need to decide what to do with it. Okay. To be honest, this is the kind of thing that I've been glossing over for much of this run, I believe. The repetitiveness. I mean, I could just blueprint this and do it that way, but I just haven't. Maybe I will at some point in the future. Maybe it'd be a good idea, maybe not. But yeah, there's a lot of building that goes into a factory game. A shocker, I know. An absolute shocker. Building in a factory game? No. We play them for the story, for the plot, for the... actually, half the time factory games do actually have a combat element. Factorio's a good example of that one. But no. Sometimes it's about getting your little system going and doing something fun with it. In this case, nothing super spectacular. All I'm doing is rigging this up to accept graviton lenses, which I did take a quick peek at, by the by, between last episode and this one. So the autosave finishes, there we go. And these things consume graviton lenses very slowly, so it doesn't actually need much of a supply to keep these things firing on all cylinders. And these things, of course, since we're on a tidal up planet, point straight at the sun, so we don't need to worry about that either. We need to bootstrap this thing though, and get output lines for all of these things set up as well. But I did already set up some requests on here, and let's actually put some ships on here so this place can directly export stuff as well. There we go. So this is one of the reasons why I'm trying to focus on that factory building and stuff today, this episode, because my factory is grinding to a halt. Proliferated production is just not keeping up. Material resources are not being processed fast enough, so everything needs to be scaled. That's the thing. My factory is. That's one of the drawbacks of my pretty build approach. It doesn't scale very easily, unfortunately. Let's see. I want you to export the. No, I had the correct one there. The solar sails. There we go. Off they go. Up to the north here, where I've got a bank of railguns here. Of note, there are less of these than the two other worlds I've set up railgun arrays on, on both polar levels. Less total, but these guys won't be bothered by only firing part of the time. These guys can fire constantly. But now, bootstrapping. Luckily, I do have the mini fusion power plants on me, so I can just throw one of those down. And I will grab a deuterium fuel rod out of my mech's own power source, and that will do for that. There we go. It's not enough to get everything running properly, but it's enough to get started. Off they go. And we're starting to lay some factories, or lay some solar sails. Most excellent. But once the solar network Dyson Swarm is going, these guys will be able to run off. Yeah, look, let's see, it's starting. It's starting. It's barely there, but it's starting. But I need to set these guys to photon output, don't I? Well, that's why I've got a couple more. And these guys will, I guess, just handle receiving actual power going forward. I might as well plug graviton lenses into these as well. Let's be honest. Okay, I think that should be good. Admittedly, the Dyson Swarm is still building. We're only at 30% power-ish, about 33%. Though that said, I did request some extra supplies from home system, and we now have a bootstrapping wind farm on the backside of the planet. It's not the most efficient, admittedly, only 80%, but it's still energy, and it means I didn't need to leave the fusion power plants, besides which they were eating all my deuterium fuel rods as well. So, moving on, let's switch these guys over to Photon Generation. They will not be very good at it, but they will do it. And just run that along there. And along there. Oh, look at that. The entire thing, the power grid just switched. And yeah, it's still going, but it seems like I might need to expand the power supply further. That said, well, see, that'll get actual graviton lenses in down here, because this place is not quite ready. Not quite ready. But yeah, the next check-in, though, will see us back in our home system for more shenanigans. We're just continuing to change the face of this universe, aren't we? Okay, time to put down more wind turbines. I've got plenty because a single shipment is, well, way too much. I need to find out a way to fix that, honestly. Okay, here we go. Castula. Out of 4. Hello, home planet. How are you? But no, our destination is actually this. Castula 3, the gas giant. Which we can only fly above, as you can see. So, what are we here for? We're here because one of the things I did is I built a whole bunch of Orbital Collectors. Because I've not used these before. Admittedly, this world is not exactly the most useful place. It gives us fire, ice, and hydrogen, though it's something about the tooltip says the collectors gather the hydrogen, then use that for fueling the actual structure itself. So who knows? But anyway, moving on. Fire ice we don't exactly need. We are mining it elsewhere, but this will be a nearer place to do. Only built at the equator. Okay. Where is the equator? I think that's a valid question. Where is the equator? A bit somewhere to our left. Alright. Why the equator? There we go. So it can be put here.
You have built an orbital collector, which can collect the resources of this gas giant automatically. The logistics vessel will come to pick up the cargo as long as you set these resources as interstellar demand at other sites. Furthermore, to maintain the collector working, the collected resources will be transferred to energy in the first place.
Okay, so that's my first orbital collector. It is producing a trickle of fire ice and hydrogen, so that's good. Fire ice, of course, is one that we can turn into. I think it was graphene. Oh, it's been a few. Well, only a couple of episodes, but many hours since I last checked that. Yeah, there it is, graphene. So that they can do that. I was going to put this as like load some ships into it, but it looks like you can't actually do that. Despite it having the ring, you can't actually do that. Interesting. Also how it's locked onto the equator only, which is I wasn't expecting either. So I can put it there. Exactly 2 boxes apart. Or 1 big box as far as a gas giant is concerned. It's a flipping gas giant. Ah well, who cares? I've got 10 of these things, I'm going to put them down. And then, of course, going back to Homeworld, set up export for graviton lenses, get critical photon production up and running on that tidal lock planet we were at. It's the smell of progress, my friends. Progress indeed. And I was going to time skip that, but I've now been waffling on long enough that I've basically done it. So that's the last one. And I think there's an achievement in this as well. As soon as my drones actually get the job done. Builders and they will come. 10 orbital constructors. Ha! They certainly do stand out a little bit, don't they? Still, I'm not going to be short on fire ice or hydrogen. I wonder what else you can get from it. This is a nice giant. I guess I'll have a look-see around the place as well. See if I can find out for other materials. There we go. We have got ourselves a nice little transport position, which is charging. Let's tell it you can suck the power grid dry. Well, to be honest, the power grid is kind of struggling, so it's one of the reasons why we're doing a little bit of this. So, right. 2 things here, as I load in both these and these. Since I'm moving away from having the existing facilities, really, that's why I'm doing it this way. I'm going to tell it you can take graviton lenses, up to 1,000 of them, just to limit the stock of it, really. And that should get summoned as soon as it builds up enough to have a single transport with it. Which can currently hold 800. That's really, really good. And then the other thing that can happen is this place can also supply deuterium fuel rods to me wherever I want, because that's something I neglected to do. The ability to actually transport deuterium fuel rods around the place. Though you will notice, as soon as I've done that, the emigration has started. So they're all flitting around, and it's nice to see they're scattering around a little bit as well. I didn't realise that they did that. I thought it was like just a straight line, but no, they do actually scatter around a little bit. And they're doing that because of this popping up over here, a local planetary station connected to the 50 mini fusion plants that I had built. And yeah, that's kicking up power supply quite significantly. Are you happy now, oh factory of mine? Will you work properly now? I think you will, maybe. But, well, beggars can't be choosers and all that, but yeah, that's going to get you going for a little bit. And at least next time they will get more properly going. Oh dear. Anyway, right. What else have we got? I have two other plans, one of which is to generate more power, so it's probably a good idea to do that. And that is a trip to our lava planet with geotherm power stations, with the goal of using energy exchanges to turn it into a proper battery production plant. I have actually got a feed of empty batteries, by the way, which are being loaded into one of my hubs up here. It's just I want to be wary of flooding the system, don't I? So probably not the best idea to have that doing that. It'll require monitoring at some point, unless transport fixes that. Anyway, moving on. I need to go to... Well, I can either start doing production, or I can start... Sorry, I can start doing production, or I can start doing power. Let's do power. Power involves playing with lava. Let's go do that. That sounds nice and safe, doesn't it? Ah, the balmy, warm exterior of Castellan 1. It's been a long time since I've been here to our old stomping grounds. This is literally the first planet we ever went to off our starting world. And I never even tapped all resource veins, if we have a look-see. So yeah, this place has never been fully exploited, never been fully used. It's just been here. But anyway, let's go ahead and start doing this. So I've never used these before either. Geotherm power plants, 2.4 megawatts each. Kind of small compared to other things we've got going on right now, but it's free power. So megawatts versus these guys 300 kilowatts, so it's still way more. Considering geotherm is like a mid-tier technology, even though we never really got to it. The question is how close you can build them together. Fairly close. Fairly close, actually. Look at that. Geotherm 6. Wait, what does that mean? Geotherm 63. Geotherm 98. Okay, so how much is on the lava does actually affect it. Right. So ideally, we do want this thing to be really, really, really on the lava, like about there. It cycles up. And 81%, so yeah. That's interesting, that. Okay, let's start filling the lava with power plants. Because that's the only... Well, if you want to get technical, this is technically green, eco-friendly power. Because I'm literally just tapping the magma for power supply. Can't do there. It does like big, warm, big open areas versus like narrow pockets like this. So that's also something to note. Look pretty nice though. Oh, that's interesting. I've just noticed how it actually gives you a percentage reading of what it's like where you put it down. So you can actually tell ahead of time. Like, it's also possible to go over 100%. But giving it all we got cap, and nope, you can do more. 106%. Oh wow. So yeah, if you get really big areas, these guys can be even better than they say. 112% there, jeez. But still, they're pretty decent, especially they're so cheap, and it's like they actually use copper. It's not much in this tier bracket actually uses copper. I just thought I'd mention that because it's interesting. I find it interesting. Okay, last addition to this particular area here, we have a transfer station. The power grid is running at a 120 megawatt surplus. So that is pretty darn nice. These guys are 45 megawatts each. So set them all to charge mode. Off they go, and tell you to demand for proliferator. Again, we don't have that fixed yet, but that's the plan. We've got warpers, we've got our own ships on this thing here to do with that, do the important doodads, and you will import up to 1,000 of these guys. And immediately a single shipment comes in with 800. So, yeah, that'll do that. And the power grid should be almost enough to run these three continuously, converting empty accumulators into full ones. And then we can just shut that to wherever we want them. Still though, look at all this just stuff all over the place. Now, where are the things? Also, I should probably turn off vein view now. There we go. Right. I think that's one coming in. Yep, it is. Here comes the battery shuttle. And these guys are rocking and rolling. And yeah, running at 40 megawatts out of 45, so still pretty decent in terms of charge time. Most excellent. Okay, now on to factory design. And I've already decided, you know those smelters I built last episode? I've decided I'm going to tear those down. Yeah, so much for efficiency, eh? I guess now is a good time to talk about why I want to tear these guys down and redo them. Well, I just feel like I kind of want them to be a little bit thicker than they are, because I feel like I've squished them a bit too much, honestly. They're a little squidged, a little scraped, a little bit squashed up. And so what I'm thinking is, if I get my grid up to show you. Right now it's 2 big grids, right? I'm thinking 2.5. I mean, sure, that's a total of 5 extra squares. Ooh, massive improvement. But it'll get these guys, in this particular layout, it'll get these guys off the edge of the thing. This entire thing is temporary anyway, but it will let me shuffle things around a little bit as well in terms of placement. So, like, I might not need to have these guys in the middle here, because there will actually be a gap there. They can go on the outside of the thing, and that will make the things a little bit shorter. And, you know, just like little nitpicky things like that. So, that's kind of what I'm doing. So, I'm also going to, like, because it doesn't get the exact shape right in the blueprint, I'm also thinking like I'll have I'll mark the corners with a single piece of belt, just so that it has that there to help it mark it for the blueprints, because that'll mean it'll always get a blueprint of the right size, even if the shape of the actual installation differs. Does that make sense? I hope so, because I've already lost track of what I was saying. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? We need to start redesigning, and we do have a bit of blank canvas space over here where we can start as well. Though actually, we are kind of relying on this big chunk of iron production here. But we're not short on furnaces like we were when we were building this, so we got there's a ton of furnaces back at the home planet. So yeah. Scrap first, questions later. Because it means I'm going to be throwing materials all over the darn place. Look at all this stuff. I really am a little bug sometimes, aren't I? But it's like, it's the fastest way to clear this out. 1,600 copper ore. Yikes. No, well, sweep it all away. Let's start demolishing stuff. Hey, there is actually a bigger way to delete stuff. That... I wish I'd known that a lot sooner, actually. Wow, okay. Doesn't delete important things like the trade hubs, though. But, yeah. I should have checked that button sooner. Ooh, there is, Actually, that stuff is very important, spray coder, because I have a shortage of that going on right now. I should try and salvage that if I can. Well, I admit I'm feeling slightly embarrassed here, but I do feel like there's been improvement, which is all that was required. Yes, maybe. Anyway, just yeah, but getting out of the corner markers for those. Right, so because I decided to include a gap every block of 10 furnaces for just an easy spot to walk through. This has actually resulted in basically being the same length as the previous one, while also being like 1 block wider. So it's like I'm using like a fifth more space, but I do feel like it's less cluttered. Like this area here is less rectangle, and I've managed to slot things in to work reasonably well. Unlike the previous setup, this setup was actually built with proliferators taken into account as well. So as you can see over here, this bank at the back here feeds into a 5th output belt, which should take 1/5 of the total outputs based on the total number of furnaces getting involved. So, you know, that in itself is an improvement, because the previous one wasn't set up that way. So, previous one, proliferators would have jammed it really quick. This one can actually run flat out with proliferation in full effect. If only I had proliferators, but you know, that's something that's gonna be coming. That's number 4, upper level, and there we go. So yeah, 3 output belts because I condensed them down at this point here. This bit, of course, is temporary and can be torn out once I actually get Universe Tech going. And it's basically the same thing as last time, except I am a lot happier with it. Because I feel like it fits a bit better. By the way, I decided on 2.5 just because like 2.5 basically will fit into any tier, just like the 2 will. Like, I mean, it'll even fit into this bit here, but there is enough room here. There is enough room in this one. There is not enough room from here inwards, so it'll go. Even the 2 one wouldn't fit in there anyway, so it'll go anywhere that the previous one would have as well. But I just like this one better. Anyway. Now that we've got that sorted out, it's the same ratio, it's a 1-to-1 in a 1-second configuration. One thing I would like to note though is I am considering going for the advanced mines. In fact, let's research those while we're at it. We're not going to get any down today, but we got the tech for it. The advanced mining machines, because if I remember correctly from when they were released, they can get logistics drones visiting them directly. I don't know, I've not looked at them directly myself, so I'm going to have to find out. But they only require optical crystals to make, so that's decidedly common compared to what the tier 2 furnaces require, which is unipolar magnets. And why do I say that? Because that stuff is really, really, really rare. Like, mega rare. In fact, I actually went looking around all of the worlds trying to find some. And they only seem to appear around the black hole, unipolar magnets, or neutron stars. So, like, only a couple of worlds in entire normal seed are going to have those. Calling the other rare materials rare, then looking at that in comparison is just like, ugh. Anyway, yeah. Time to blueprint and get this thing started, because we do need to get some manufacturing up, as I said. So, yeah, let's get rolling. Also, I'm going to blueprint this thing without getting this thing fully set up. Made that mistake before. But I will actually get the utilities laid in before I blueprint. So, demand. Also local demand as well. Because they might actually... This place just wants those things. Then I've got it set up so that it's slot number 2 for the 2 for the input and 1 for the output. Actually, this is going to cause problems in assembly machines because the assemblers are going to need multiple things on some of them. So some places might need more than one tower. I didn't plan for that. Oh well. Well, this is going to be the final check-in for today, I think. Yeah, as you can see, things are progressing. Just a tiny bit. Okay, so I've got iron going again. I've got... Oh, apparently I missed setting a few things around the place there. Whoops. I've got copper. I've got steel flowing, which is a new one. I'm currently laying in more refining arrays, which will handle stone and glass, and maybe something else. I don't know. I'm definitely going to need more iron refining, I think, though, because yeah, the entire output of this array is consumed by this array when this one's going full throttle. So, well, except for that 25% proliferation, got to remember that. But I don't get that bonus because out of proliferation. Also, you can see I've just started to lay out the first bank of assemblers, just gear assembly, and you can see where I've laid out copies of the initial part here just to get some more positions marked out where what's going to be where, so you can see what's going on with it. Interesting thing to note, the 2.5 versus 2 width actually allows them to be placed straight next to each other, because there's just enough of a gap for the ports to be a good distance apart. So there is that. That's an advantage of the slightly wider layout. But yeah, I'm going to have to retool these as I get to higher input to output ratios, like 2 to 3 to 4. I really want the stacker mode on these ports, so I don't have to have this nonsense for every single input belt, because that's going to limit me. So I think next time, just like hammer it straight into antimatter, then straight into getting universal matrices, and then straight away get into this one here for logistics, to start getting those logistics stacks. And if you look, it's only like 24,000, so actually they're comparatively cheap compared to some of the other things around. So 24,000, that's not too bad. And in fact, yeah, this is regular. I can get this one now. 20 to... With this, my logistic carriers can carry 1,000 apiece. Oh well. And then this starts to increase the actual storage capacity of the places, as well as increasing things further. So it starts to get really out there at this point. But yeah, that'll tech up. In the meantime, as you can see, my drones are, bless their souls, I have upgraded them a fair bit. I've been steadily upgrading them throughout this series, as you know. But they're at maximum speed now. They are not quite +2. Ooh, +2 tasks. Yeah, I'll get you first. I'm going to need you first, then go pick that up. But yeah, this world though is definitely turning into more of a hive world kind of thing going on. Though I can't help but feel this is going to be just a tiny bit bad for our power supply. I can't rely on just the existing solar panel banks to properly feed all this, I don't think. But that's a problem for another day. I need to get more supplies. The problem is I don't have any more interstellar ports to put down, because I've already put them all down. Well, all the ones I had anyway. But yeah. With that, as we continue to pave over this world, fact, let's pave over some more of this world. Let's leave that alone for now. You're on light. Okay. Okay, so yeah. Have I already paved this bit? No, I don't think I have. Yeah, pavement for everyone. Oh dear, but yeah. This has been IMAX3. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. And I'll catch you all some other time as I randomly throw thousands and thousands of foundations down because I'm basically painting the planet with this stuff at this point. Yeah. See you all later. There we go. I've just run out. I need to stock up again. Oh dear.